Welcome to Digital Asset News. Take the top stories in cryptocurrency, digital assets, and break them out of bite-sized pieces. Today, we've got pretty good stories, which I think are going to lead to February fireworks. First up, Bitcoin could be the new GameStop. And what they're talking about here from CNBC is they believe that there is a massive short squeeze in play, exactly what happened with GameStop and Wall Street. We're going to take a look at a lot of different articles and stories, which I believe is going to lead to massive price appreciation because of what is happening behind the scenes. On top of that, what happened with GameStop because of Wall Street actually had a ripple effects coming into cryptocurrency digital assets into our market. And we're going to hear on a Fox News video short interview from Steve Ehrlich, the CEO of Voyager, about what exactly happened, which forced a lot of people to come over here and how the Voyager platform did go down. And then finally, we're going to finish up with the Winklevoss, or the Winklevoss Bitcoin Exchange, also known as Gemini, is pushing into banking with a savings product. So this is good news for people, not only in the United States, but mostly New York, who are being shafted because they can't get different pieces of information or exchanges that actually give them yield. So this is actually good news. So we'll take a look at all that, but first take a look at what's going on in the market. So today it is, what is it? 10:40, February 2nd, a.m. El Paso, Texas time. So instead of using CoinGecko, I'm just going to start using Trade the Chain because they have everything that we need as far as like the prices, what's going on top of sentiment analysis and the projected price range over an hour. So I just want to see what's going on. And also it's good to see what's going on with like tweet volume and stories, because that's what moves the market. It's not like the super great technicals. You get one story, you get one Elon Musk changing his profile on Twitter, all of a sudden, boom, everything just blows up. So it's just interesting to see what's going on. Anyhow, Bitcoin, almost at 35K, and over 24 hours, it's up 4%, so great. Ethereum is also a huge winner right now, 13%. It's almost hitting 1,500. I think it'll hit that today. So congratulations all you Ethereum holders, just like myself. Tether, yeah, sure. XRP, really watch out, because this had pumped all the way up to almost $1, and now it's down to 37 cents. This was all started because people wanted to artificially inflate an asset which had no business inflating, and this is what happens. This is a classic pump and dump. This is exactly what happened. I saw a lot of different things going on Twitter. People were like, we're going to pump it, pump it, pump it, and then we're going to get out. Some people said it, some people didn't, but it was implied. And if you're new to this space, I'm sorry. I did a video yesterday. I said, be careful and don't even do it, but it is what it is. So if you're part of the XRP army and you did that, that is no good, and that just puts a black eye on the whole market. Anyhow, Polkadot is 1675. Cardano is up massively, 24%, almost going to hit 45 cents. So hopefully, I mean, that's like half of what it was for its all-time high. I think its all-time high was like $1.13, so pretty good. Litecoin's up 12%, Chainlink, everything's up. Let's see, anything down? Uniswap, it's okay. It's like, man, Uniswap's almost at 20 bucks, 18.50. Wrap Bitcoin, whatever else, 1.6%. 6% for Theta, not too bad. I've heard rumors and rumblings that Grayscale is going to add Theta token to their portfolio. Heard that over on Digital Babes. You can check out his video, but that would be interesting because if Grayscale's in it, I like to hear that. And that's what's going on in the market. And then here's some projected ranges. So if you're looking for something like this for like sentiment analysis, there's a link in the description. It's a 14-day trial. Go ahead and check it out. I've got one. Yeah, it works out pretty well. But that's what's happening. And I see a lot of good things. And you can just see like the sentiment, just good. Because I mean, how this all works is that Trade the Chain, they crawl all the websites and the exchange blogs and everything else, and they have a direct API into Twitter. That's where they get all these tweet volume and things like that. That's what moves the market, I think. So that's what's going on. Let's take a look at what's going on in today's top stories. So here we are. Bitcoin could be the new GameStop. What are they talking about here? Well, it's all summed up in this first sentence. Well, second sentence, I guess. Hedge funds are short Bitcoin by more than 1 billion, according to data from crypto news and analysis company, The Block. So let me just talk to you real quick. So this happened, and I actually had Alex Mascioli on the show, and I asked him the exact same question because he had actually talked to me and said, hey, there's a bunch of shorts coming in. I don't understand why. Alex is head of institutional investment over there at 𝗙𝗥𝗘𝗘, and he's like, there's a lot of big players who are trying to short the market, and they're looking for funds, and that's why they're coming to 𝗙𝗥𝗘𝗘. And I was like, doesn't make any sense, but here it is, also backed up by The Block. And we had talked about this, and I was like, well, I just see February. It was all going to come down in February, this month. We reported this, I think, on January 30th. So I knew this was coming about, but I didn't understand why. And now that I take a look at what's going on, I still don't understand why. I don't understand why these institutions would actually come out like, yep, we're going to short it. Bitcoin's definitely go down. I think that this would have been a great play in the past when people were kind of like, you know, a little bit up in the air about things and didn't really know. But now that we have a little bit more footing and we have a lot more stronger hands, I think this is going to end very badly for these hedge funds. I think that their faces are going to get ripped off, just like what happened with this GameStop situation. You have a lot of people who are in the know, and they're like, you know what, we're going to buy and hold. We're going to buy and hold. We're going to buy and hold. On top of this, we're also taking a look at what's going on here with Michael Saylor. Because Michael Saylor, MicroStrategy, they bought a ton of Bitcoin. Not only that, on February 3rd and 4th, they are going to have a big powwow. They're going to have a bunch of different institutions come in virtually. I will be there, actually. And they're going to tell them exactly how they did it for their Bitcoin playbook, how they bought so much Bitcoin without moving the market too much. And they're going to have Michael Saylor on February 3rd give, you know, his presentation about how they did it, the legal implications. They're going to have the CFO, tax services, everything's going to be there all in one play. And then the next day, they're going to have, on February 4th, they're going to have like the big guys come in. They're going to have the Coinbase, the Krakens, all the different exchanges that are there that can say, hey, do you guys want to do the same thing they did and make a ton of money? Well, we can help you do that, and we can provide institutional services and custody for you guys. So you don't really have to do anything. So this, I felt like, was going to be a catalyst. Now, if you have this going on February 3rd and 4th, but you still got people who are like, yeah, I think I can still short it. I think it's going to end very badly, and that's going to lead to a short squeeze. So just real quick, when you want to short something, you actually sell it first, and then you wait to buy it back. So these guys are probably like, yeah, I'll buy Bitcoin 35,000, and or I'm going to sell Bitcoin 35,000, excuse me. They're going to get all that money, then they're going to wait for it to go down to 30, 25, or 20, like everybody was, like, not everybody, but some people predicting. I thought it was stupid, but whatever. And they're going to say, oh, I'll buy it back at 20. Here's your Bitcoin back, all of it. And I made a boatload of money. So they can try that. But what's going to happen, I think, is because of this that's going on, I think they're going to say, oh, okay, I'll short it. I'm going to sell it right now. And then it's going to go from 35,000 to 37,000 to 38 and 40. And then before you know it, they're like, shoot, I bought it here, or I sold it here. I want to sell it down here. Now I got to sell it here or here or here. And I'm going to lose a ton of money. I better get selling right now. And then everybody else is like, you're selling? I'm buying. Buy, 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 buy. And that's the short squeeze. And that's what I think will happen. Now, like I talked about, we actually covered this in a video. I'll link this at the very end, just 5 days ago. Did pretty well, 233,000 views. Not bad. Thanks, everybody. So I thought it was interesting that this was going to happen. But I did say this. Everybody who's in attendance, it's not like, well, let me switch back. It's right here. It looks like this. Everybody who's in attendance, they could potentially they could potentially pick up the mantle and actually do things right away. But in all honesty, they'll probably get this playbook, take it back to their legal team, their financial officers, and go, can we do this? Should we do this? And they'll run through everything and go. I think there's going to be some small groups that are like, you know what, let's get it done. And there's some that'll be a little bit late, and there's some that'll be just huge laggards. But I will tell you this. If I'm an institution, and I'm sitting in the audience, and I'm looking at everybody who's there, even virtually, because you can see who's in attendance, all the different names, and I'm like, how much is available? 18.5 million? Who's here? Oh, I know those guys. Those guys are billions. Those guys are millions. Those guys are aggressive. I know those people too. It's going to produce massive FOMO for institutions. And what are they going to buy? Bitcoin. That's it, because that's all Michael Saylor talks about. He is not here for Ethereum. He is not here for Dogecoin. He is like, look, it is Bitcoin or nothing, and this is why. So when we talk about, let's say, that's what's so different, is it? Sure, it's different for Bitcoin. I don't know about the altcoins, and I'm not going to bet against that, but I'm just telling you what I see. So again, I think it could be massive. So back to this article, just in that one sentence that kind of shoots it off to where I think we're going to go for February. Okay, so this was just price predictions. Analyst at JP Morgan thinks Bitcoin's going to 146,000. 𝗙𝗙𝗘 says 318,000. I personally think it's going to be 150. I hope I'm wrong, and we'll go from there. Honestly, all my predictions are super conservative, so they're always on the low side. I think 150 is low. That's what I feel comfortable with. And then it talks about how there's new institutional investors, and it's totally different from 2017. Look, everybody tells me the same thing. Rob, you shouldn't sell at all. You should keep everything. You should not take profits because the institutions are here and it's going to keep going up and up and up forever. And I've talked about this many a time. First of all, I don't believe that's true. I think for Bitcoin, potentially, yeah, because you've got a lot of the mass mutuals who are buy and holds. You got the MicroStrategies, which are buy and holds. You got the Galaxy Digitals, buy and holds. So those people, yeah. But other hedge funds, if they're into altcoins, they don't care that much about the tech and how well it's going to do and change the world. They don't care. They're here to make a profit. So when things start to slip, they're like, I'll get something else. And off it goes. So again, altcoins, I'm not too sure on. Bitcoin, I'm pretty sure that, there's going to be a little bit more buoy. And that's the only crypto that I made a change to for my exit strategy just because of that. And that's all. And then it talks about shortage, and then it talks about the Bitcoin versus GameStop, which we already talked about. So that is it. So let me know what you think in the comment section, but I truly believe that with what's going on, if people want to short it, it's going to be massively bad for them, and they can try it. And I hope it'll be interesting because I'll just be on the sidelines hodling. I don't really care. But as the price goes up, it'll be fantastic to see. And remember, there was somebody that actually posted something on Twitter. They said, did you just sell your Bitcoin to MicroStrategy? Because every time you sell, you know who's buying? All the institutions. They're all buying up your Bitcoin. So not financial advice, not a financial planner or analyst or anything like that, but I wouldn't sell anything right now. Anyhow, let me know what you think in the comment section. Let's move on to our next piece. So next up, friends of the show, Voyager. This is Steve Ehrlich, the CEO. We had a bunch of problems with Voyager on Friday and Saturday where they were down. And I had scheduled him for Saturday, and then we had a scheduling conflict, mostly on my end. And then Steve had some things to do because he was working so much. Then we said Tuesday, which is today, and we're going to see about that. But I've already been talking to Steve, and if we don't get him on the show today, because he's going back and forth for all these different interviews, we're going to have him on not on my show, but we worked out an agreement to have him on Alex Mascioli's show. And I don't know what the announcement is. I know we're going to talk about what happens and how they're going to fix all these different registrations and going down because of, because when Coinbase goes down, it's because they have something with market matching. There's something like with their Bitcoin or their Ethereum or their whatever cryptocurrency they have, there's an issue with that. And some say even that's debatable because maybe it's doing it on purpose. I'm not here for that. Voyager's issue was they had so many people sign up at once, it just broke the system. And I told you on the a couple days ago. No, it was a couple days ago. I go, look, there's no free rides in this show. Just because me and Steve are friendly, I really like Voyager, it doesn't mean you get a pass when things go wrong. And I don't want to sit here and listen to the same song and dance that Coinbase pulled over our heads, where they're like, oh, it's just this, it's just that, and it went down all the time because of all these different things. Fix it. Fix it and get it done. So when I was talking to Steve, I was like, I'm going to ask you some tough questions, hope you got some answers. And he's like, yeah, well, we'll get it done. But if we don't get it, this will definitely go on Alex show. And he goes, and we have a big announcement that I want to put forth with you and Alex. So I don't know what it is, but I'll remind you tomorrow, but it would behoove you to check that out, that enormous announcement that is coming from Steve. Anyhow, so this was a great piece over there on Fox News, and let's just hear what he's got to say about what's going on. And this will kind of play directly into the hands of what happened with GameStop and Wall Street and why Robinhood shut down, which I think is a massive mistake for them, but it's a great opportunity for us. And I'll let Steve explain that right now. All right. And play.
Next guest runs a crypto asset broker and has seen the business jump because of all of the activity. Joining me right now is Voyager Digital CEO, Steve Ehrlich. Steve, it's good to have you today. Thanks very much for being here. Give us your reaction and what you saw with regard to cryptocurrency as a result of all of the volatility in stocks and GameStop last week.
very much for having me. Happy to talk about all these, subjects here. Hey, what we've seen over the last few days is record numbers for Voyager. We are opening 100 accounts a day, 100 accounts a minute, actually, on our platform. We went to 250,000 downloads over the last 3 days and rose all the way up from unranked to the number 18th ranked app in the Apple Store over a 24, 48-hour period. So we're seeing mass adoption of people coming to our platform, retail consumers, and using our app to buy cryptocurrencies.
Interesting. What an impact you've seen it.
And that's pretty much the very big thing. So we're going to stop it right there in a minute. And it's amazing to me that they went from whatever they were to like in the top 20 for app downloads on different platforms. That's pretty amazing. And you got 100 people signing up per minute. They're not designed for that right away. They knew it would happen, but not right now. Again, if you know this is going to happen and this is going to only accelerate, you have to fix it now, because if you keep having people wait and go in, this is bad business for them. Because if you've got new people who are waiting, 2 days, 4 days, 6 days to get approved, they don't want that. I don't want them to go down. You don't want them to go down. So let's hear what Steve has to say as far as fixing it, which will either be today or at Alex Mascioli's show. But that was the big thing I want to talk about. There is one more piece, though, and it's kind of funny because you can understand. I always have a problem, which I always think people are just like me. Like they just, understand something, and I always have to take a step back and go, not everybody knows, so this only makes sense. So the host here, Mia Bertinelli, I always mess up her name. She's going to ask a pretty funny question to Steve, because she just like, all right, this is what it is. And she just asked the question, and Steve's like, what? All right, let me fast forward this.
So, Steve, no restrictions if I want to buy a chunk of GameStop then?
GameStop.
We're not a stock. We don't offer stocks on our platform. We're cryptocurrencies. So we're different. We only offer cryptocurrencies. Different from what you see in the marketplace. We're a crypto-only agency broker.
She's like, and he's like, yeah. So, not to make fun of anybody, ignorance is bliss. That's just how it is. And sure, of course, they're going to get it. But it was just interesting that, like even somebody up there who's, supposed to know about the financial industry and like everything that's going on, people still don't know. So if you think that we are a mass adoption or that we're late to the game, you have no idea. We are so early. There's people who just don't know what's going on. So that's what's happening. Let me know what you think in the comments section. Let's move on to our last piece. So, last up, Winklevoss Exchange, Gemini. It's a new savings product. So this is just really quick. Gemini is adding a new service called Earn that lets clients move their holdings in Bitcoin and other crypto into interest-bearing accounts, which is pretty good. So this is great because for a long time, if you were in New York, you were getting the shaft because you couldn't really do too much because just where you lived and the bit license and everything like that. So Celsius was off limits, Voyager was definitely off limits, different things. So you couldn't really get any interest like everybody else in other states just because of the location that you live at, which pretty much sucks. Well, now, starting today, you don't have to deal with that problem if you have a Gemini account. And there's going to be rates up to 7.4% APY. So up to 7.4. Look, it's better than nothing, right? But if you're at other places, you can get rates of like 13%, 18%, depending on what crypto that you have on the platform, especially with Celsius and I think Matic or one of the other DeFi projects, Synthetics. That's like massive APY. So it states here, from Tuesday, the Gemini app will add a new service called Earn. Lets clients hold Bitcoin Ether. And what I thought was interesting is that it's available for all the cryptos that Gemini supports. It's the only crypto exchange that offers the opportunity for users to earn crypto in every state in the US, including New York. And that's 100% true. They're the only exchanges all the way through. The company says it's able to offer high rates by lending out crypto to institutional borrowers through its lending partner, Genesis Global Capital, in exchange for interest payment. Deposits are not protected by FDIC, Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, and rates are adjustable. Saving programs are only available for U.S. clients. So if you're outside the U.S., sorry, that's just how it goes. But who knows, maybe soon it'll be a little different. So that is what is going on. And I just want to make mention of one thing. When it says here, it's able to offer high rates by lending out crypto to institutional borrowers. Once they lend it out, they should take collateral. They should. So you have to read the terms and services agreements for what's going on behind the scenes with Gemini. But that's usually how it works out. And if they don't have, and also, here's a funny little tidbit. If they give collateral, they will also lend that out. If you don't believe me, just take a listen to, there was a piece that we had. It was me and Alex Mashinsky from Celsius Network. And I asked him, I go, how do you create yield? How do you create the interest? And I had to really ask and drill down. And he said, you know, really there's a couple different ways. One is they can short it. One is through arbitrage, and one is through market making. And I asked him, I go, well, when they do that and they give you collateral, what do you do with collateral? Oh, we still lend it out too. So he's like, it's all in a big pool. So just so you're aware, that's exactly what happens. Now, as far as like Celsius, they've never had to well, that's not true. They had to liquidate like 3 people out of everybody, even when that Black Swan event happened in March. So they've got a pretty good track record. Gemini, I mean, maybe, I don't know. But that is just how it all works out as far as APY. So just be aware. Also, if you're looking for other places, depending on where your location at, to gain APY, I use Voyager and Celsius, like my 1-2 punch. Voyager and Celsius work together, just so you know. Celsius usually has the best APY. In every one of my videos, in the description below, there's a link. It's going to say exchange and wallet fees. It looks something like this. I'll put a little graphic up there. And once you go here, you can sign up using the affiliate link. You don't have to use the link, but if you do, you get between $10 and $25 depending on what you want to sign up for. And also, just so you know, like here's the latest APYs for all the different cryptos that they offer. So just like this, like USDC, you get 8% on Voyager, 8%. And you get 13, almost 14% paid in Celsius if you, depending on where you live and if you're a credit investor and all that good stuff. Or you just get 11% USDC. Still great. Again, all the different cryptos that are there, you can leave them on there, gain interest, and it's just like free money. You do absolutely nothing. So that's just one of those things. So check that out when you want to at your leisure. And that is it for today. So, hey, you made it all the way in. Thanks so much for sticking with me. I appreciate it. If you liked it, why don't you give it a thumbs up? Also, why don't you subscribe? Because a lot of things that we do are all time sensitive, as you can plainly see about the stories that we talked about right now. So if you click that, it'd be fantastic. Also, if you like these types of videos, I mean, 2 more it's going to pop up on your left and right. Not for sure, but YouTube do its magic. And that is it for today. So thanks so much for watching. I appreciate it. See ya on the next one.